one of my favorite things that they're doing now with all these new league rules is they're doing 1-year trial runs, right? And so I do like that. And so Vince, another guy on Patreon, one of these new rules is the new kickoff rule, where you could call for a fair catch, kickoffs only, anywhere from the 25-yard line and back, and you automatically get the ball at the 25. And again, the big reason why NFL hits that button, boom, player safety, that's what they're screaming. Vince came out and said this, and I thought this was interesting. He says, thought of an interesting workaround for the new kickoff rule. You could do a hard squib, kicks that settle inside the 10 but aren't popped up in the air. So you have to do kind of a knuckleball kick or a watermelon kick if you've ever did that. It's weird. I don't want to get into that. But you're unable to fair catch it because the ball's bouncing around, line drive, all that stuff. Now, every team's going to have a different alignment, so that pocket where you would squib it will change week to week. So that's a fun strategy session that we're going to get to watch live time, because there's some very creative special teams coaches. Now, Schneider was very creative and risky with his time in Seattle. We didn't fake anything last year. Shanahan says, nope, give me 3 points. That's all I care about, right? Vanilla. I like vanilla. But I know a lot of other people don't. So I'm curious to see what this is going to look like. The amount of... I was not a fan of the kicker pick by any stretch. Here's again, I want to put this up all the time. This was the moment they announced the third round picker kick whenever we were live. This is me and Brian Carter. What's up, Brian? Yeah, you can tell by my face. I wasn't the biggest fan, to say the least. So, like, a lot of people emailed me about, man, this makes Jake Ludy pick even worse. And I think that it does. Now, how much does it move the bar one way or another? I don't think so. Viet, what's up? He says, does the kickoff change make, yeah, right here, Jake Moody's dual ability for kickoffs and field goals less important? Also, special teams players. It does. It can. I don't want to say it does. This is a 1-year pending rule that they're just going to see how it goes. And yeah, it is going to make special teams a little less valuable. It does make the punt team and punt return team way more valuable. Because in the past, like last year, you had Hufanga and Jimmy Ward on every special teams unit. They were out there covering kicks every single time. Kyle Juszczyk's out there every single time. Now, I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. But it definitely rescinds, or perhaps it makes it, there's no doubt about it. This was one of the biggest. It's how you start the game. It's a tone setter. I talked about this on John and Wayne show. I was a wedge buster. That doesn't even exist anymore. Where you'd put this no talent, chubby cheeked, whatever guy that was just mean as hell and wanted violence in his life. You just put him down there and tell him run full speed and run into all these guys bigger than you and blow it up for the rest of your team. Like, I was like, yes, sir. Like, that was my mentality. Like, yes, I got it. That's how I got my start on varsity, was that, and then it worked into other things. But, like, that's gone. You can't even do that no more. Can't do that. And so this constant changing. And so, all right, let's just jump into the DeLorean. John Chapman doesn't make varsity for another year with this rule. And so, yeah, it's going to impact players. There's the law of unintended consequences. Player safety, I get it. It should be paramount. Should be. But changes things. It does change things. And this is going to affect special teamers. It's going to affect undrafted free agents. It's going to affect veteran players that are just trying their hardest to get that one last year in so that they could be vetted into the retirement system of the NFL and their families will be taken care of for the rest of their lives. This affects that. And there's going to be players that would have made it into the retirement system of the NFL that will not now. Now, is that worthy? I don't know. But that sucks. Not going to lie. That does suck.
The 49ers Rush Podcast.